Why, hello there, good people of the world. I was considering what I could possibly bring to your attention. You know, the internet is such a repository of diverse pieces of information, but I decided today to discuss some tips around navigating that transition between being a student and segueing, excuse me, my voice, into early careers. Now, one of the things that one needs to consider is the fact that not everybody is going to take the traditional route of getting onto a grad scheme. There are ways around this process that would allow you to build a diverse set of skills that would allow you to go for a number of competitive job titles in the future. One of the ways you can build up your resume as someone who is a recent graduate would be taking on shorter term contracts. So that could be anything from X amount of months to perhaps the likes of a maternity contract, which would typically be 9 months, sometimes longer. And what this would allow you to do is immerse yourself into a specific business without necessarily being tied down, quote unquote. Another good thing about taking on this kind of contract is that by the time you are nearing completion, you can start looking at the intranet and seeing whether there are other competitive opportunities within the same business, perhaps in a different department. Now, I know that every business is different in terms of their recruitment process, but I have noticed that in some organizations, they actually prefer candidates who already are within the business, even if it's on a contractual basis. It makes having conversations with hiring managers and specific key contacts in that said department a lot easier if you're already within the business. You could drop them a Teams message. You could decide to have a coffee and a chat and see how you could progress. Another top tip that I have for anyone who is a student and is transitioning to early careers is the weight of professional qualifications. This is something that I wish somebody had honestly told me and drilled into my mind, because believe it or not, this can be the game changer in a recruitment process for you. Let's assume that you have decided to take on a contract within procurement for a leading facilities management company, and you're coming to the end of your tenure there and you've seen an opportunity within projects. Now, even if you are an internal candidate or someone who is already within the business, if you come in with a good attitude, a good background in terms of academics, and a professional qualification, you are much more likely to land a position or equivalent. So that position or equivalent. These qualifications sometimes can be a bit expensive, especially if you're just starting out in your career, but they do pay a dividend. What those qualifications says to a hiring manager or to a key contact is that this person has put in the work independently. This person can evidence that they are investing in their career. This person is somebody who means business. I remember my first ever boss sitting down and telling me that he had sifted through 30 CVs. My CV was the 31st. I didn't get the role based on so much relevant work experience because, to be honest, during uni times, you just do your role because it's available, not because it's going to land you your career. But he said to me that every CV tells a story. And so seeing that I had specific qualifications shouted this person uses their initiative to him. And that's how I got the role. So of course, cases differ. But if you can take anything away from this video, it's that there are other ways to get into the workplace and build tangible work experience, and professional qualifications have their merits. I'd love to hear about your experience transitioning from being a student to an early careers professional. It'd be amazing for us to start a good discussion roundabout navigating corporate UK. Until next time.